What's going on, everybody? TheKennyDubz here with another X-Dive video, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different. I'm on my Taiwan account here just because what I want to focus on is easier to do on my Taiwan account. I guess it doesn't really matter which account I'm on, but it pertains to both versions of X-Dive, which is why I specifically said I have, why I just mentioned X-Dive. I'm just going to be doing some random background stuff here every once in a while. So, what I want to talk about today is the S-rank problem in X-Dive. Or at least that's what I'm calling it. Some other people might have kind of, picked up on this long before now. But the reason I was kind of quiet about it for so long is because I was like, well, it's not going to keep happening, right? So let's take a look at the character. Alright, so now here we are at the character screen. If I scroll down a bit here, you're going to notice something. Here are the characters that I don't own. All the characters that I don't own are S-rank characters. I believe the last time we got an A-rank character in the game, and this is on the Taiwan version, I believe it was Rising Fire X. And that was around the time of the Via's training, Via's special training event, which was close to the 1-year anniversary of X-Dive. So they're 16 months ahead of us in global, and global version obviously, like I said, just behind them, and there's not really any more A ranks for us to get, so everything is going to come out, and that's kind of bad, because there's a multitude of characters that are within the Mega Man franchise that can be added as characters to the game as A ranks, right? But we keep getting them as S ranks now. That's a bit of an issue. Because a lot of them have been limited recently as well. So less A-rank characters overall means less characters in the game. I know a lot of people would prefer S-rank characters, but if every character that's added to the game is S-rank character, well, we're going to have to use our EMs to pull for them, and pulling for characters is pretty difficult if you can't pity them. So, something that they could easily do, very, very easily do, was what they have set up in like Pokemon Masters EX or in War of the Vision, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, is they have, well, first of all, they frequently add characters that are not, the max rarity, but we could get some actual content for the game that will allow us to unlock the characters. So particularly in War of the Vision, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, they have something called selection quests, which I think are pretty cool. And what those allow you to do is you have to use MR and lower units, which would be in this game. This would be like A ranks and lower units to complete stages. After you complete so many stages, I think it's like the first stage you get the character as a reward, but then after that you get materials to start upgrading the character and building them up. So we could have something like that within Mega Man X-Dive. I think it'd fit pretty decently. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a selection quest kind of thing, like kind of 1-for-1, right? They could do like some kind of like boss rush kind of thing. Or even, heck, even easier than that, maybe a challenge mode for the boss challenges. And the reason I say challenge mode is because you don't want them sticking... Okay, this takes a while to scroll through. You don't want them sticking them back here because... you already have to be level 175 to even reach Magna Quartz in Phase 5. So they can do something like that. There's also, you can't really see it because of where I'm sitting, but see, like in this little area right here, right below Deep Recorder, there's still more space for them to add more characters. So we could get something like over here, like maybe, each one is kind of like the boss challenge, right? You limit to three attempts a day. They can implement something where we can get characters, 3 times a day. And it doesn't have to be any characters that are already released in the game, like newer characters. So I had mentioned the S-rank problem. So, they could start introducing, other versions of classic Mega Man maybe. Or, we know Battle Network has a lot of net navies, right? That probably won't be S-rank if added to the game. Or other versions of X, like classic Mega Man, like we have Thunder Beam version, we have Rising Fire version. So we could get I'm trying to think of a different X weapon right now, but my brain is failing me. Like Ray Arrow, I guess, even though that's a dive trigger skill or something like that. And then even for like Star Force Mega Man as well, so they could add like things like the different noise forms for Mega Man, or maybe the or for Star Force Mega Man, the different noise forms. I was gonna say the noise force Big Bangs, but that's the wrong thing. I was thinking of the like the Dragon Sky, Pegasus, and Leo Kingdom forms, but those will probably be S rank, which is understandable. I do think that, or something else, they can even make it even easier, right? Because events in this game no longer really have any story. We're not going to get any more endgame. We're done with story. For now, I don't know how long we're going to be done with story, but they could go even lazier, right? Because when they release a new character, like a new S rank character, they could, alongside that, release a new A rank character. So just as an example here, let's say they release, Black Ace Star Force Mega Man, right? Well, alongside that event, they could also maybe introduce one of the noise forces, like maybe, I think Wolf Noise is a pretty popular one, maybe, or Gemini Noise. To have that there during the event so that we could unlock it then, or much like how I mentioned in the challenge stage as well, we can go for, like, they could just slide it down like somewhere over here, right? So we just slide up or slide down. They could have one down here dedicated for characters, or like maybe what they could do is they implement it for like say like a week, or maybe not a week, maybe like a month, like it goes in a rotation, right? A week or a month, some duration of time, right? So you can grind out, say, like I said, Cygnus Noise, Star Force Mega Man, right? And the reason I say that, I'm using Cygnus Noise in the different forms of Mega Man here is because, like I said, they can be really lazy with that, because what that allows them to do is essentially, because it's Mega Man, it's probably gonna have some variation of like a charge shot, a Mega Man or X unit, so they'll have some variation of charge shot, and then whatever their other skill is, right? They might not have charge shot. I don't know how they would implement it, so there wouldn't be all that much they would have to come up with. I don't feel for that. But also another thing is, like I said, we don't really have much content in the game as it is, right? All we really have is our weekly events, and sometimes some of the weekly events are just like, a raid boss. So you do your 5 runs for the day, and then you're kind of back to doing what? Your dailies, maybe PvP if you like that, but if you don't really like PvP, you just do your dailies, and there's not really much else for you to really do there, which really sucks, because having some form of endgame PvE content would be pretty cool on a consistent basis, kind of like other games have, and it actually makes me kind of worried for the future of this game, because they said we're done with the story. Hopefully that's just this story arc, but when they said they're done with the story, I was like, oh, well, okay, that's kind of Monka-esque already, but it's at Chapter 18. Global already has Chapter 18. We don't even have all the characters released yet for Chapter 18. We're still quite a bit behind the Taiwan version. So hopefully, I would like to see in the future, S rank character and then the A rank character as like a freebie in that event as well, because then that A rank character could also be implemented as a kind of thing where, a bonus percentage as well, and maybe they add them to the general pool as well later on. That could be something they could do. But I also like the way that War of the Visions goes about it, because with War of the Visions, there's like 12 or 13 selection quests, and the first one you get the character, you get some other rewards, cool. And then as you go up and up, the quests will get harder, but you also get materials to build up that character. So since this game is pretty similar to War of the Vision in terms of building up characters, what we could do is, you get the character, 0 stars, cool, for completing the first one. Then, depending on how many stages they decide to make it, you can get some character patches, maybe some EMs first time clear, and then memories for the characters you unlock as well. Now, it's a bit different for War of the Visions in that case, because the characters there are, they're UR units, but they don't have the full capabilities of, like, they're missing their limit break, which is it's a mechanic in the Final Fantasy. Like, it's just that's not relevant for this game. But we could get something like that, but then just have S rank characters, so that like they're somewhere in between like S rank and maybe A rank, but closer to like S rank that you would pull from the gacha pool, right? And maybe you can get that character from doing the selection quests or whatever they have it done, but you wouldn't be able to just buy the character's memories from the shop, because you would get them from the quest or something like that. That's just how they have it set up in War of the Visions. That way, or the way Pokemon Masters has them set up, they added a new currency for the BP pairs, and TLDR is you play the game, you get BP, and eventually you get tickets to exchange for characters. That's something else they could do as well, because we have plenty of options for things in the store over here. Like, we got tokens. You could legitimately just put the tokens like over here. Probably wouldn't go unlimited, but you know what? You can just do that in token. But it would add more characters and a little bit more variety and more content for us in general. Because like I said, our content basically consists of whatever we have to do for that week. Some weeks have, or some events for the content is like a 2-week-long event, which a lot of people kind of don't want to do. Like raid bosses. Raid bosses are nice. I don't dislike raid bosses. But when the raid boss is like 2 weeks, that's when I'm kind of like, now I don't want to do this. I don't know if I'm in the minority for that. But having more content in the game would always be nice, especially if it's permanent content, right? So that way we could do it at our leisure, so that we wouldn't be forced to, kind of pick and choose. It's like, okay, well, do I want to work on this event today and worry about the main event tomorrow, kind of thing. That'd be pretty lame. But yeah, it would be great to see more A rank characters in this game in general, because like I said, a lot of characters could be added to this game as A rank characters, or like I said, or like they just make it S rank characters that you get from specific quests. Characters like Double, High Max, some variation of Duo, because we got Duo from Battle Network, we got Duo from Mega Man 8, what have you. And like just things like that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, contrary to popular belief, I have literally no ties with Capcom in any way. I just play the game and make content. A lot of people think I have ties with Nebula Joy or Capcom Taiwan, and they keep asking me things. It's just like, I can't. I'm just a player of the game. I can try to make suggestions in the Discord, but that's really it. But let me know your thoughts about the current situation of X-Dive. It's looking kind of dry for content, like I said, because story in this look. Chapter 18. Oh, well, it's 16 hard mode here. We don't have Chapter 18 hard mode, but Chapter 18 is where we're at. And I'm pretty sure we're at the same point in Global now as well, with the last major update we got. So we have Chapter 16 hard. The only thing we're really missing is Chapter 18 hard. So at the very least, I don't think all the content is done for the game. I think it's going to be a little while before we get some more things, and we don't really know where the story arc is going to go, if they're going to start an act 2 for the story. But for now, we just have to wait and see. I would really appreciate it if they could add more characters to the game, but I definitely think it's something that we should see a change in at the very least, because like I said, more characters is good. More favorite characters would be fantastic, and more people would just play the game. More people play the game, that means we should be getting more content in general. And you know what? Maybe we'll even get some free stuff out of it too. Who knows? But yeah, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.